Good evening. Welcome. This is Dr. Erica. I'm quickly just double checking to make sure that we are showing up actually live. It looks like it is the case and we are officially on. So I want to first start off by saying we made it to Monday, y'all. There was so much going on this weekend and over the last couple weeks that just making it to Monday feels like an accomplishment. So you might want to say, hey, Dr. Erica, what are you talking about today? So today's topic is 5 effective ways to turn down the emotional volume, especially with everything that's going on right now. And one of the reasons I want to talk about some strategies to turn down the emotional volume is right now is a time where a lot of us feel like our emotional volume is actually turned up, that you feel like you're on edge or you're frustrated or you're angry or you're just upset, and there's just so much emotion brewing in there that we're all adults. We still have stuff we have to do every day. Is that finding a way to turn the volume down so that you can even function, or we can even function. So that's what I have on tap today. So welcome, I'm back in Chattanooga. Welcome to my lovely hotel room. I am Dr. Erica, double board certified psychiatrist, integrative lifestyle coach, and best-selling author. I am on a mission to help women I can't talk today. I keep getting tongue-tied for y'all. Feel seen, valued, and whole on their own terms. And I do this through my telepsychiatry practice, which is actually for any gender. I have a book called Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to Great Life, Love, and Legacy and Speaking. But I'm here today. It doesn't matter what your gender is or even what your racial background is. I'm here to help all of us come together and somehow make it through this. Not only make it through with our sanity intact, but somehow come out of all of everything that's going on better than we went in. And that was my personal mantra going into COVID, was I wanted to come out of COVID better than I went in. And I don't think hardly any of us could have anticipated how COVID was going to change our lives, and how in the midst of dealing with this pandemic, all of this dehumanization of Black people comes to a head. And I say come to a head because it's not like this is new. It's just I was having a conversation with my mother earlier, and if you're not familiar, there's a gentleman named Gil Scott-Heron, and he's famous for saying the revolution will not be televised. And the ironic thing right now is the revolution is actually being televised. And between body cam footage, social media, people being able to be on news coverage, it's actually a lot of what's going on is being televised, and it's causing a higher level of awareness, not just among Black people, but among a lot of different people, different backgrounds, of how much brutality and dehumanization there is against Black people. And I say Black people because even though it's very common right now that the spotlight is on Black men, that these things also happen to Black women. So today I want to talk about 5 ways to turn down the emotional volume, because right now everyone has so much on your plate. So just speaking from the perspective of a Black woman, I'm dealing with COVID. I transitioned back to work, doing work, working with people trying to help save their life, managing, being in a hotel. Those are just mine. Being safe in a pandemic, and then dealing with all of the emotions that this racially brings up. And the one thing I would tell people that are looking to be allies, and you may be realizing, is that one of the things that's been going on is there are a lot of emotions, and a lot of us that we've compartmentalized things for a very long time, and now the compartments just aren't holding as well because it's just getting so much. And if you're here, the quick housekeeping tips is please share this with anybody you feel like needs it. Also tag anybody that you feel like needs this message. And also please put hashtag replay in the comments if you're watching this later, so that I know you came by. You can put comments later, I'll still come and check you out. So let's go ahead and get started. So number 1 is to breathe. It's very ironic, and I went ahead and put it first, almost for part of the irony, is that one of the ways to turn the emotional volume is one of the things people were saying when they've been being killed by police, is that they can't breathe. And one of the ways for us to manage dealing with people that were killed when they couldn't breathe is for us to actually breathe. And I think it just underlines the fact that breath is air. Air is life. And by slowing down to breathe, it's a couple things. One is, I've said it before, is that one of the things that happens a lot of times when people get anxious or upset is unconsciously you just don't breathe that deeply. Hi, Dr. Carol. You came on just in time for me to talk about breathing. It's so ironic. My comments are finally coming in. So welcome, Aunt Sherry. Welcome, Yolanda. Welcome, Dr. Renee. Is that it's so important because it's very easy to either subconsciously shallow breathe or even hold your breath unconsciously. And by slowing down to breathe, it does a few things. One is, naturally, if you breathe and really breathe, you will get more oxygen to your body and to your brain, which will help you feel clearer. The second thing is the act of breathing tends to be centering. So it helps get you grounded. Also, if you pay attention to breathing, it will help you slow down. And sometimes really to just get moving, you need to slow down. Hi, Jody. Thanks for coming on. So number 2 is turn down the volume on social media. There's so much information out there and it's very easy to get flooded with it. And one of the new changes with a lot of social media is that there are just so many videos, and between that and the news, you may accidentally see a video you had no intention of watching, and before you know it, you've literally watched someone get killed on camera. And one of the things is by turning the volume on social media is sometimes you have to limit the amount so that it doesn't make you overwhelmed or flood you with too much information or emotion. Thanks for coming on, Dr. Brandy. So turn down the volume on social media, decrease social media, be very cognizant and aware of your social media usage. And also if you notice that you're on social media and you're not sleeping because you're thumbing through, checking it out, or that you just start feeling yourself get anxious. And some things that you can notice in your body is tension. You may start feeling tense. Your muscles or in your neck or in your back start having light headaches. Your stomach starts getting upset. But those are just things that your body sometimes just tells you that it's just a little bit too much, or you're starting to get anxious or on edge, and just pay attention to those cues. Hi, Tamara. Thanks for coming on. The next one is number 3. So we're on 3, is talk to positive people. Underscore, bold, highlight positive. Is that to turn down the emotional volume, you need people that are not going to turn up your volume by turning up the volume on negativity. So you want to talk to people that are positive. These are people that will love on you and also can be a listening ear and are there for you and are supportive. So you want to surround yourself with positive people so you can talk to positive people. You ready for number 4? And if you have any questions or comments, please put them in there, and also just let me know how you're doing. So number 4 is one of the things a lot of people, especially Black people, are dealing with is because of the level of awareness or shift in awareness from people that are non-Black, is this pressure that people want to be allies, and they want to get fully educated. They want to get educated on the Black experience. They want to get educated on what is it like, what can I do, what's been going on for this 400 plus years. And hi, Dr. Dia. And that can be tiring. And when your emotional volume is already up, sometimes those conversations, it's almost like ripping the Band-Aid off of something that's not healed, and the scab is sticking to the Band-Aid, and you just rip it all off, and it's all just worse than it was to begin with. Oh my gosh, I would say, hi, Bembe. I don't know how to say your first name. I'm going to need you to put phonetically because I think it's Ketsiwe, but I'm not sure if that's right. Well, thanks for coming on. I need to learn how to say your name. And one of the things is that energy. Hi, Monet. Thanks for coming on. That amount of energy sometimes is draining, and it helps turn your emotional volume up because a lot of this, what's going on, the emotional volume is up because you're having actually we all are. I'm not going to say you. We all are having traumatic responses to what's going on. So you're already on edge. So your emotion level is already here. And you probably have what we call in mental health hyper-vigilance. So hyper-vigilance is, it's one of the key components of PTSD, but it can happen any other time, is where you're just on edge, basically looking over your shoulder, one step away from a short fuse, just waiting on what's next. Hi, Joy. Thanks for coming on. And by having people look to you to be the expert on everything Black, or how do they get educated on everything Black, or how do they help every single Black person on the planet, is that can be triggering. So one of the things, and this is number four is have a resource list. They are being floated around social media. My best friend Joy is on here. She actually has one she does D&I work. Is that instead of having these super long conversations, if you're not up to it, you can give people a resource list with movies or TV shows, articles, or books where they can get that education and information. That it's hard to be the number one news source. It's like being a single person CNN, like one person being all of CNN, all of MSNBC. It's just not reasonable. Even there isn't just one news channel. So to have the expectation for yourself that you're going to be a singular news channel for someone is just, it's just setting you up for feeling for emotional overload. So resource list. Number 5 is take time for yourself. There are so many things pulling on everyone right now between work, family, dealing with protests, dealing with pandemics. There's just a lot going on, and that doesn't even include all of the regular stuff that's going on. Dr. Renee's on here. There are numerous people on here that have been personally affected by protests or other activities in their neighborhoods. So there's just so much going on, and especially for people that are actually in the neighborhoods where these things are happening, that there's just some disruption. Even if the protests are peaceful, it's a disruption in your routine, a disruption in what's going on. And Joy's recommending 13th. Yes, 13th is excellent. Is that you need to take some time for yourself, which means sometimes you just gotta take a step back and figure out what you need. If that's a bath, if that's a walk, if that's some exercise, if that's just sitting in a quiet room, if that's sitting up watching something to make you laugh, if it's watching Dave Chappelle's 8, 4 to 6, I highly recommend that too. Just do it. So sometimes you just have to take some time for yourself in the midst of all of the service and trying to be at the protests and trying to take care of your family and working and somehow making your money work, especially if your money was affected by COVID, because there are a lot of people whose money is funny because of COVID. So those are the 5, but guess what? There is more. So we had 5, 2 bonuses. Bonus number 1, hi Dr. Otis, thanks for coming on, is pick what you respond to or engage with. I'm going to say that one more time. Bonus number 1 is pick what you respond to or engage with. There are certain people or situations, if you engage with them, it's going to increase your emotional volume because it's going to make you more frustrated or angry. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be someone that is against the rights of Black people or against actually being safe during COVID. There are multiple things. And this talk, it's at a time where we need this because of COVID and the dehumanization of Black people, but it can be used for a wide variety of things because sometimes your emotional volume is up and it's all work stuff, and it hasn't had nothing to do with COVID, nothing to do with racism, or it's your family or your relationship. So, but pick what you are going to respond to or engage with. One of the places this is extremely important are conversations at work and places you are, when people want to engage you either in unnecessary debate or just too much desire for you to be the magical Negro encyclopedia, that you may not want to engage or respond. And there are pleasant ways you can, I really appreciate your interest, but I have some other things I have to do, or I just don't have the emotional energy for that right now, but here's your resource list. Or if it's someone that is just really negative and is one of those folks that you hear them every once in a while, that they're like, hey, they should have shot him. That sometimes engaging with those people, just like engaging sometimes with supporters of some of our politics, you're not going to change their mind because they're not thinking logically or rationally. So engaging them is only going to upset you, and it's not worth it. The other thing is, on the other place of picking where you respond to is really huge, is social media. Is if someone's trolling or they're saying extra crazy stuff, sometimes you can't get in the middle of that. It's just going to throw your whole vibe and your energy off. Sometimes you have to let people do all their crazy on their own. You do not have to engage with that. So sometimes it's not engaging or responding because it's negative. Sometimes it's not engaging or responding because you just don't have the emotional or mental bandwidth to engage or to respond to it. But the one thing I don't want you doing, and that I try not to do myself, is if it's a situation that you know engaging isn't going to be value add for anybody involved, there's no reason to put that energy into that. You can hold on to that energy for something that's going to be useful, and it could be energy that you can use to heal yourself, energy you could use to give to your loved ones, energy you can use to be of a change agent and make the world a better place. But sometimes there's no reason to spend energy on ignorant folks. Thanks, Valerie. That's what I say to myself. Great. And hi, Nataki, thanks for coming on. So now we're at bonus number 2. Bonus number 2 is one of my favorites. It goes for darn near everything I talk about. Bonus number 2 is grace. You have to give yourself some grace to have the expectation that you'd be able to manage all of this and everything be rainbows and unicorns in the midst of people dying, people getting shot, people getting lynched, people dying from COVID, people getting COVID, people going out without their masks on, hanging out like COVID never happened. All I can say is it's an unrealistic expectation that not affect you on some level. So give yourself some grace. Dealing with all of this takes some practice. Dealing with finding ways to still be productive takes practice. Dealing with figuring out if you want to be a change agent and you want to be part of the change, part of making Black people, instead of being a fraction of a human, be regarded as a full human being with full set of rights, is that you have to give yourself grace to figure out what your path is. Because everyone's path to change or role, and if we want to call it the revolution, is not going to be the same. So everyone may not be at a protest. Everyone may not be live streaming. There are people that may be doing donations, people that may be working with voter registration. There's just a wide variety of ways to help, and everyone is looking for what their way is. And give yourself grace while you figure out what your role is in making this better, what your role is in changing the world, what your role is in doing our best to hand off a better, safer society for the next generation. And I don't have children, but I have a god puppy. I have children I love dearly. But we all want the world to be a better place for them. We want a time where people can have their husbands, cousins, brothers, boyfriends, sons, male friends go out and not be worried about, are they going to make it home, or what's going to happen if the police stops them. You know, I won't speak for everyone, but I know for myself, I'll be driving below the speed limit and I get nervous anytime I see a cop. And it shouldn't be like that. And the thing that's hard is there are some people. I have a cousin, Kelly, phenomenal, and she actually went into become a police officer because she wanted to be someone that actually did good for the community and was a place of safety and was racially sensitive. And you know, I think it's wonderful to see, but I wish everyone could be like that. And until we're there, it's just going to be a tough situation. So those are the 5 plus 2. So we had a little bonus. So we're going to do a quick review, but for housekeeping, please put hashtag replay if you're watching this later. Feel free to tag or share this with anybody that you feel needs it. Feel free to put comments in the chat. We will talk about them. We're going to do a quick recap because I don't want to keep you tied down all Monday night, because I know everyone had to go back to work and we're all adulting 100%, and it's about time to take that little after work relax. And for all y'all that have family at home that you have all this stuff to do, God bless you. So, are you ready? Number one is you need to breathe. You need to take some time just to slow it down. It helps you slow down, helps you get mindful, helps you get grounded, helps your body physiology by getting more oxygen in. And the more we're able to turn your emotional volume down, and slowing down sometimes helps that will decrease some of those stress hormones. Because the one thing I don't want you to be doing is running on so much norepinephrine and your cortisol sky high that then you get sick. Nobody wants to be sick, and you surely don't want to be sick during a pandemic. Number two, dial down the social media. Be mindful and aware of when too much is too much. If it's starting to make you feel anxious, if you're starting to feel cues in your body, if you feel yourself feeling more angry or frustrated, that you need to slow it down. And also, you don't have to rewatch every video of everybody getting killed. It's a bit much. Next is talk to positive people. That's helping you control your energy by interacting with people that can pour into you, support you, and listen to you, and are not going to bring in a bunch of negativity to turn your emotional volume up, okay? We're on number four. Number four is for those that want to be allies, say they want to be allies, or just want to know about the Black experience. It is not your personal responsibility to be Black CNN and to have to educate every single non-Black person on what Black culture is, what the Black experience is, how Black people have been treated in America. So have a resource list ready, so when someone asks you, say, hey, you don't have to have flyers. What's your email address? I'm going to just email this over to you and just send them a list of stuff to watch and read. And that takes some of that pressure off of you, so that if it's fine if it's a time where you feel like having that educational conversation and you feel up to having that conversation about what it's like. And I know for me personally, I don't talk about this stuff much at work. I'm not sure where people stand. I work with very nice people. But example is I was in a meeting and someone referred to a patient as a little Black girl. She was a grown woman. I don't even work with kids right now. So sometimes you just have to just give them a list and keep it moving so that you can hold on to your emotional energy, because with turning your emotional volume down is it also helps you reserve your energy. So the next thing we are on, let's see, what number are we on? We are on number 5. So number 5 is take some time for yourself. You need to recharge. You need to be able to get centered. You need to have some time where you can breathe and figure out what the heck is going on in your own head. It's hard to do that with a million people around you all the time. I realize some folks, you have people at home, people to take care of, or you're working multiple jobs. You may not have a lot of time. But even if you can get 10 or 15 minutes just to yourself, just doing whatever the heck you want to do. If it's, as my grandmother would call it, sitting around playing dumb school. You can do that. You can sit and look at a wall. You can watch TV. You can meditate. You can breathe. You can exercise. You can just go in your little corner, talk to your girlfriends. Whatever you want to do, just take some time for yourself that is specifically for you. So time for yourself doesn't count you and your millions of kids. You need time for yourself to recharge, because even when you love people, sometimes you just need a little alone time. The next is, sorry, I feel like there was something in this room. I don't know if I have gremlins. Hope I don't have gremlins. You ready? So now we're bonus time. Bonus 1 is pick what you respond to or who you engage with. Just because people want to start getting started, as Michael Jackson would say, want to be starting something, you ain't got to be starting something with them. You don't have to go with them. You know, if they want to troll or say extra special stuff on social media, they can do it. You don't have to get in the middle of that, or you say your one comment and you go. And also, you don't have to be drawn into long debates and conversations if you are not up to it. Just don't do it. Just politely excuse yourself. And on social media, the good thing is you don't even have to politely excuse yourself. You just don't say anything. The next thing, the last bonus, is give yourself some grace. There's all this talk about, oh Lord Jesus, Joy's like, but I need to be starting something. Well, then you chose to start something, and you start something when you had the energy to start something. Cool? So the last thing is give yourself some grace. There's all this talk of this new normal. I don't even say that. It's not really a term I use personally that much, because no one's quite sure what normal is or what normal is going to be, because we are in the middle of so many shifts right now. There are so many shifts. So we're shifting how we model human interaction to decrease infectious disease risk. We are shifting how we communicate and connect with each other. We are moving around with different ways that we are managing, having conversation about race and tolerance and understanding differences and finding commonalities and finding ways that we can communicate and have some shared experience as a human being. And I feel like saying it's a new normal, number one, that gives expectations for some stuff that it's just hard for it to meet. I look at this as this is a process of adjusting and adapting daily. You adjust and adapt to the situation you are given, and we just continue to adjust, and as the situation changes, we adjust and adapt. And wherever that ends up is just where it ends up. But kind of looking at a normal is, to me, it puts you in a position where you are setting yourself up for disappointment or failure, because no one knows what it is. No one knows what the heck this new normal is. So how the hell do you know if you got there? That's just my view, is that you don't know if you got there. Nobody knows what it is. And who's going to be the expert that says this is what is the new normal? Who gets to say? Who gets to determine that? I think it's going to be a personal thing for each person, how they end up adapting. And it's important to give yourself grace, because everyone's got thrown a ton of new situations. And in a time where there are situations we managed before that, in the context of everything else going on, that's hard. It's hard to manage it. And that's one of the reasons I say that for a lot of Black people, and yes, I'm going to have a moment for speaking for the Black delegation, is that we all knew all this racism was going on. We know people get killed by police all the time. We know there are plenty of people that don't like Black people for no particular logical reason that makes sense. But we all compartmentalize that, deal with our microaggressions, deal with the macroaggressions, deal with getting passed over, not paid as well, mistreated, sexually harassed. We deal with all of it. And it goes in this little box. And most of the time, nobody sees us outside that box, because we hold that box really tight. It's held really tight, and we just discuss the box when we're with each other. What's going on now is people are in this space that there's so much going on that the box just isn't holding anymore. So people are getting to see what's our inner thoughts. And the other thing is, other people that kind of had a little box of their own of what they thought was going on or what they thought was manageable are now having the blinds open and are getting to see how utterly ridiculous at times this country is, and how not just unfair or unjust it is, that no matter what religion people believe in, that there are a handful of things that are basic, as they used to say in social studies class. I couldn't tell you which thing, because anybody that knows me knows I had to put effort into social studies. That just never stuck right up in here. Is that there are certain things that were supposed to be unalienable rights that for a lot of people are not. And while we all deal with trying to figure out how to finally get these rights and how more people can treat each other with love and respect, even if we disagree, it's an adjustment. So I say, give yourself some grace on learning how to adjust to all these things. Give yourself some grace if you're just a little upset, because hold on, I see some comments here. Oh, thank you so much, Jody. I appreciate it. And thanks for coming on, Dr. Hassan, Dr. Darnita, and Spook. Is that one of the things is that, is anybody out there a fan of Marvel? Anybody a fan of Marvel? And there's a part, I believe it's in the Avengers, the first one, that they ask the Hulk, what's his secret for, Bruce Banner, what's his secret for controlling the Hulk? And he says, I'm always angry. And I think what people are getting to see is the anger that has been behind the mask that a lot of Black people have had. And now everybody's angry. But nobody has the mental energy or emotional bandwidth to hold it. And it's one of the reasons why you can't have these conversations with everybody, because it's just emotionally draining sometimes. That's why I don't talk about this stuff at work. I don't talk about this stuff at work because I have a job to do. I cannot do my job if I'm emotionally unsettled. I can't make people feel calm and transfer calming energy if I'm not calm. So I have to do so this is the Dr. Erica story. I have to hold down my emotions because, number one, my patients, they didn't come in here for revolutionary Dr. Erica. They didn't come to see Dr. Erica pissed off because somebody, Rayshard Brooks got shot and murdered in Atlanta this weekend. They didn't come in to see that. They came in to see a doctor that was going to care for them and respect them and do their best to help them get a better life. So that's what I have to be. And I think that's why you have to do so much work to protect your energy, because for a lot of us, we have all these responsibilities in places that this stuff doesn't fit. As Joy's quoting Public Enemy, I got a right to be hostile. We can't be hostile at work. We can't be hostile with our kids. You can't be, you can be hostile, but your husband might not, or your wife might not like it. So, it's finding ways that you can process these emotions. And that's why I wanted to talk about turning the emotional volume down so you're not about to explode all the time, because it doesn't function well. It increases your cortisol, which, number one, none of us, we're already dealing with trying not to get chunky during COVID. Increased cortisol decreases your immune system and increases, the fat you get with cortisol is that belly fat, that right here fat. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants it. And also, if you're kind of running on that high emotions all the time, it puts you in a place where, number one, the body doesn't like feeling angry and upset all the time. It's just not. There's a term we use called something is egosyntonic or ego dystonic. And the honest way to say it is, it doesn't feel good to be mad. It doesn't feel good to be sad. It doesn't feel good to be anxious. It doesn't feel good to feel irritable. It doesn't feel good to feel frustrated. So it's, even though we need to give ourselves grace because you may go through these emotions, is working through how to manage them. But give yourself grace, because learning how to manage them is an adventure. And it might be hard right now to have any day where you're not angry at some point of the day. Just is what it is. But just finding a way to make some of these things manageable. And from a chemistry perspective, we're looking at ways to deal with the controllable variables. So there are some variables that are fixed that we can't, this is where I'm a nerd out, that are fixed that we can't necessarily change. But the things that we can change, those are the things I want to work on. And that's why I like to give you these practical tips, because they're things that you can do. So for me to take care of myself, to breathe, to monitor my social media, not get overdone on it, just keep positive people around me, to have resource lists for allies, to take time for myself, and to pick who I respond to, and to have grace. Those are all things I'm in control of, because those are behaviors and things I choose. And I want to give the control to you so that you don't feel all out of control during this. So if you can control yourself, then that will help your emotions feel more manageable. Now, if your emotions just feel like there's just nothing I can do, Dr. Erica, these emotions are running me. I do not feel in control of them. I am miserable. I feel bad. I feel terrible. Then you might need to get some help, and it's okay if this isn't something that these tips will get you through. Sometimes folks just need some therapy or may even need a little medication. So if it gets like that, if you are in Georgia or Tennessee, you can contact me. I have an adult telepsychiatry practice. I see people in Georgia and Tennessee right now. We can figure out what's going to help you get through it. So if you're interested, you can go to www.askdrgoodwin.com, askdrgoodwin.com. Doctor isn't spelled out, so it's askdrgoodwin.com. That'll get you a free 15-minute consultation so we can figure out how best I can help you and find the best fit. I think I'm great, but you can decide whether or not I'm a good fit for you. So you can go there. It's risk-free. Didn't even cost you anything. So that's what I got for you. Again, I'm Dr. Goodwin, double board certified psychiatrist, integrative lifestyle coach, and best-selling author. I'm on a mission to help women feel seen, valued, and whole on their own terms. But today I'm here with just being a psychiatrist with over 15 years of experience, here no matter what gender, to help you make it through all of this extra special touchness with your sanity intact. So you know how to find me. I will be on tomorrow. Oh, I have something special tomorrow, and then I'm going to hop off. Guess who's going to be my guest star tomorrow? My guest star tomorrow is my daddy. So you will finally meet this man that we have talked about so much. You'll meet my daddy tomorrow. So please come on at 7 p.m. for tomorrow's edition of Growth Groove with Dr. Erica right here on Facebook Live. You'll get to meet my dad and get some really good pearls. He's pretty smart, so comes in handy. So I can't just let my mom have all the show, so daddy gets his turn. So thank you so much and have a great night. That's all I got for you. I'm sending love, hugs, and prayers. Virtual hugs, we're socially distanced. And also don't forget, your prescription or homework is you need to call at least one person and tell them you love them. Good night.